The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Having a place to go after school will make you a better student. Having an outlet to express yourself will make you a better artist. Having something to do together will make you a better family. At the Y, we're helping build better friends, listeners, writers, swimmers, scientists, and musicians, one chance at a time. Give the gift of opportunity. Support the Y at ymca.net. The Y, for a better us.
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
The mainstream media is really the make-believe media. First, they make up the news, and then they make you believe it.
Hi, this is Susan Swift.
I'm highly successful, have been all my life. I have enjoyed successful careers in film, television, and law.
I'm Dan Wright, a father, a gun owner, a dog owner, and a Federalist.
I'm Susan Swift, and you are listening to Constitution and Culture on KLRN Radio,
where liberty and reason still reign.
Welcome! You're back with Constitution and Culture. I'm Susan Swift. This is KLRN Radio. And I've got to apologize right at the top. last Wednesday, my internet just crashed because I blew a fuse in the house and I didn't have any way to get recording and get on live with you. So I'm sorry for that train wreck, but we're back now. I'm Susan Swift. I've been an actress and a lawyer. I'm a happily married mother of 7, and I'm a C word. That's right. I'm a conservative. I'm a very proud Republican Texan who loves God, family, and country. I've been featured on Rush Limbaugh. I've contributed to Breitbart, and I'm a proud politic, and I'm joined by Dan Wright, resident libertarian and all-around good guy. Hi, Dan.
Hey, how you doing, Susan?
I'm doing better than last Wednesday when I was shut down.
Well, I mean, it actually kind of worked out. We did do kind of a surprise makeup show Monday, and I have
the train wreck version. Yes, the train wreck version.
I have a group. I have a group I'm involved in called the Federalist Coalition, and the first Wednesday of every month, I have a meeting with them. So that's usually the night that I'm not there, and we figure out somebody to come on with you or whatever. So it didn't end up being a complete and total disaster.
What happens when the babysitter goes away and the kids play all by themselves? That's what happens. So. Anyway, so we've got so much we've got to catch up on. There's been so much that's been going on in the last week. And the make-believe media has been busy because they would have you believe that we're all deplorable and that that we're just haters, and they are totally busy trying to rewrite the Donald Trump presidency. I will remind you now that this is week 3 of Trump's presidency, right? It's should we call it AT after Trump? It's week 3, like Anu Domini, the after Trump. So he's only in week 3, and yet you're going to have the media that they are trying to spin his presidency and kind of his progress as like he's way behind. CNN has a headline, DeVos makes 5, meaning he's gotten his Betsy DeVos confirmed, but Trump still way behind on cabinet nods. NPR, Senate dogged by delays in confirming Trump cabinet nominees. And then NBC News, Trump cabinet nominees slog through messy confirmation process. What the mainstream media is trying to sell to you is that basically gridlock is back, Trump's not getting anything done, and it's a big morass. It's just awful. And in 2 years, you guys better vote for some more Democrats to get back in there and restore some order, because we're not making any progress here, and Trump's a mess. That's what they want you to think. And actually, it's the exact opposite. It's more fake news, more fake spin by the media. But we are so completely loaded with stuff. I don't even know. I don't think we're going to get to it all. Really quick, what we're going to try to cover today is the Ninth Circus. That's the constitutional crisis in the making. It is a judicial threat to our democracy. The liberal judges are trying to destroy our Constitution. And we've got Senator Elizabeth Warren. We need a theme for that woman, I swear. Anyway, Senator Pocahontas, she is beating the racist war drums for Senator Jeff Sessions, and McConnell has relegated her to smoke signals. Got that, because she's not allowed to talk anymore. She's a bad girl. And we've also got the Democrat war game, guerrilla lawfare, and Rahm Emanuel is going to be explaining all of that because he's laid out the plan. We know what's going to happen every day between now and the midterm elections in 2018. And if you guys are tired, if you're kind of thinking, I remember last night my husband and I were just kind of saying, wow, I'm a little bit tired thinking about all of this. And we both realized, yeah, if you're tired now, just think how tired you'd be if Hillary were president. So, we're winning, and this is another Never Hillary Day, and it's all good. But the media is out there, and the liberals are out there screaming, and they're screaming in their coffin, and they're sending the media out there to demoralize, to depress us, and to make us feel like, oh, we're not getting any progress, and Trump's getting nowhere. It's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks, and guess what? He is getting everybody confirmed one at a time. Yeah, it's like fighting tooth and nail. But you know what? Imagine if you were fighting ISIS. If you were fighting ISIS, they never give up. And that is the analogy for you to think about with the Democrats. The Democrats in our country are the equivalent of ISIS. It is guerrilla warfare. It is political ideology. They are out to kill us politically. They don't want conservatism to run this country. They are in it to win it. They are going to fight to the very, very bitter end. And if we have time, I can also explain the ISIS new tactic. ISIS has a new tactic. They're called jihadi Janes, and they have metal teeth. I am not kidding. So, Dan, is there anything else you want to add to the table before we start going through this?
I would like to say that through friends and stuff that I have met and since the election, that there are some Democrats, including my brother, that really have, because of seeing what is going on, they've moved more into agreement with us.
Democrats, keep it up, man. You are the best recruiting tool we've ever had as Democrats, like Senator Warren. Senator Warren. I mean, this is wonderful. It's wonderful.
They still call themselves Democrats and call themselves liberals, but they're like, whoa, what is going on? Kind of. I mean, it's kind of like what we saw during the election. It's like, I'm behind our president. I want our president to do well. And I still, if I say anything about something that I don't like that he did, I get completely attacked for it. It's like, wait, look, I agree with him on most everything right now. I'm allowed to not agree with him on something. But
of course,
a lot of people on the left are seeing that too from the extreme left.
That's right. And you know what? They keep seeing the putty tat hats. They keep seeing that. We've seen the Women's March, and that was so successful that the putty tat marchers, they're going to have a women's strike day. It's called the B.I. Ditch Day. That's what I'm going to call it. I mean, but that's what it is. They're all going to say, women are not going to go to work. We're going to have a day to express how necessary and how important women are because, equal pay, equal work, all of that, beating the 1960s, bra burning, all that stuff. They're going to have a day that no one goes to work. I mean, for women.
I had a friend that he posted something on social media, that Subway had their ad out for, yes, actually all month, any sub, $6. And he posted that, and he said, "Go ahead, ladies, strike. We got Subway."
That's just so funny, and all of the feministas would be so offended, and that's so sexist. Because what do you think? I just make sandwiches all day? Is that what you think I do? Do you think that I just work and I cook and I clean and that's all my value is to you? And of course the men would respond, "No, honey, you're really good in bed too." I mean, women do not appreciate the fabulous role that they have been gifted with, which is we get to make you guys feel warm in bed. We get to make you feel warm in your tummy with good food, and we get to create life, and we get to bring joy and happiness to the world. That is a wonderful gift that we can choose to do.
And that's why I love you.
Yes.
That's why I love you.
Right. Be good at this. We make you happy and warm. And look, I've told this to my daughters because the thing is, for women, all you have to do, you have to feed them well and keep them warm at night, and that's it. That's all you guys want. You are binary creatures, and for those two things,
and let us watch sports. And let us watch sports every once in a while. We're fine.
Right, we get to go have mani-pedi day with the girls, and you guys watch football, right? And then everybody's happy, and you guys will go out and literally die for us. You will work yourselves to death. You will
slay the dragons.
Yes,
I will go out and slay the dragons for you.
And you will buy us bling, and you will buy us nice cars, and you will make sure that we have everything we want in our house, like a blender or a coffee machine or just whatever.
Sounds so terrible.
No, it
sounds
just,
so awful.
No, we run the world. They just don't understand. Women don't understand this, but we do. We are the superior gender. We run the world. You guys sit up and beg every day, and you're very easily satisfied. And I don't understand these women who are just always saying that they have to have equal rights and all. They already have superior. We have so many more rights and powers than you guys do. I mean, what's that old line? Oh, I forget where it comes from. But be very afraid of something that can bleed once a month and live.
Well, that's I saw a friend of mine. I'll quote a friend of mine the other day. He calls it the FFS. Feed us, F us, let us watch sports, and you can go out and do whatever you want.
That's right. It's very easy.
We're easy.
I know.
We're easy.
But anyway, all right. So we've got that on the table. All right. So let's crank it up and get going. As we said, it is week 3 of Trump, and what's going on so far? He has passed, I think, 8 executive orders, and we've got Trump nominees. Jeff Sessions has just been confirmed by the Senate, a vote for 52-47, right along party lines. He is now the Attorney General at the DOJ. So yay, Jeff Sessions. This is good. This man is going to be so solid and so wonderful. And of course, the Chuck Schumer was spitting mad, and so was Senator Warren. She got hushed by Rule 19, and that's really important coming up. But you know what? I think we have a couple of sound bites of the fake outrage, that Chuck Schumer had.
Do we have explosions of their
liberal
heads
exploding?
Yes.
I love that sound in the morning. Love the sound of liberal heads exploding in the morning. Boom, boom. Everybody, seriously, we should all be actually doing the happy dance every darn day, because so long as the GOP doesn't break up and get all nervous, so long as we stay united, we win. Divided we fall, united we win, and that is the liberals' job. What they're trying to do is they're trying to divide us. They're trying to make us afraid. So long as we keep laughing, pointing at them and laughing and going, you're not winning. Sorry, we're going to win. But hey, I think we have a couple of Chuck Schumer. You got to hear this guy and his fake outrage and how he sounds so very senatorial and how dignified. This guy is such a hack. Anyway, do we have a couple of sound bites of what he was saying?
Is testing fundamental underpinnings of our democracy and its institutions. These times deserve answers, and Judge Gorsuch did not provide them.
Judge Gorsuch. Good, Judge Gorsuch. I'm going to tell you what's going on with this Judge Gorsuch.
He couldn't pronounce it because the tears were running down into his mouth.
Yeah, I know. But here's what they're doing. The liberals, they're so mad because that seat, that Senate, that the judicial seat on the Supreme Court, that was supposed to be Merrick Garland, and it was #stolen. That's what they're mad about. So Gorsuch is a bad guy because Trump shouldn't have had this opportunity. He shouldn't have had this seat. So that's why they're railing against Gorsuch. Judge.
Well, they don't point out that there's precedence to this.
Judge Gorsuch is a wonderful judge. He was confirmed unanimously onto the circuit bench that he's on. I think it's the 7th. In any event, he was unanimously confirmed. He has impeccable credentials. He's been to Columbia. He's been to Harvard. He's been to Oxford. The man is he's what all of these liberal senators wish they were. They all wish they had a resume and educational credentials like this man. He is impeccable. And what's happening behind the scenes, McConnell may not have to invoke the Reid rule, the nuclear option, or any other procedural sleight of hand, if you will, to get Gorsuch. Now he's got me saying it. Gorsuch, thank you. To get Gorsuch confirmed, because several Democrats are probably going to break ranks and go ahead and vote, because I think there are there 5 or 7 Democrats who are in contested districts this year and 2 years coming up, and they want to be able to say that yes, they for sure voted for such a good judge. So they're going to be voting, and they have to go back to their constituents
I'm
and say
here,
that,
sort of, I think.
I'm sorry, are you still there, Dan? Did we have a sound blip? Are we still going?
Hear
I'm
me?
so sorry. I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Oh my goodness,
well,
we're having a sound problem.
Now that my connection
Oh my goodness.
set on.
Well,
Keep talking.
well, I'm good at that. So I don't have to worry. All right. So getting back to our eminent senator, Chuck Schumer. I think we have another sound bite for him. This is also during the confirmation hearing today. Can we play that second sound bite from Chuck Schumer?
I have serious, serious concerns about this nominee. He will have additional meetings. He will have a hearing, and then the full Senate will render judgment on his nomination. We must give this nominee the scrutiny that this unusual moment demands. The Senate has been hoodwinked before. Justice Roberts promised to call the balls and strikes, but he has used his perch on the bench to rewrite the law and bend the court in the direction of special interests.
Okay, now, let me give you some background of what he
And
said.
really quick, I'm back.
Okay. Here's some background of what Schumer was saying. He is saber rattling and threatening to delay or hopefully avoid the confirmation of Gorsuch onto the Supreme Court. And he is pointing at Justice Roberts. And he is saying that Justice Roberts hoodwinked them all because he betrayed us. He's referring to Citizens United. Citizens United was the ruling that said, yes, corporations can spend money, political money. And that is what has undermined the left's ability to shut down political debate and ideas. Because if a corporation can donate money, just like a person can, a corporation is a person, it's a legal person. And if a corporation can donate money, that means there's a lot more money to put political ads out there, things like that. So they're very mad at Justice Roberts. I think it's hysterically ironic because it was Justice Roberts who cast the deciding vote for Obamacare, saying that Obamacare was constitutional when it clearly was not. Roberts bent over and, did the Obama bow to Obama and the liberals and said, oh, that's okay. I'll give you the ruling you want. And Obamacare is constitutional, and basically Congress, you need to do your job and you need to repeal it. That's what Roberts did. Roberts had the chance to go ahead and decide that it was an unconstitutional law and he could have struck it down, but he didn't. And what is the thanks he gets? He gets Chuck Schumer pontificating that somehow he was hoodwinked by Justice Roberts and he has betrayed us. Oh, that is really rich. After the 2,000-page Obamacare was blessed by Roberts, and now it's payback time. Now we've got to pay back the next nominee, who is Gorsuch. Yeah, right. But that's what they're doing. Now, look, this is all a tactic. It's all a very planned political tactic. The Democrats will stall, block, delay, wrangle, disagree. They will do anything they can to stop Trump's agenda, because if Trump wins, conservatism wins to a degree, and so does America. And guess what? Other American, especially all these Democrats, like you were talking about, Dan, they're going to see that, conservative policies and free markets and all these things, they work. What do we need you Democrats for? It'll be the end of Democrats as we know it. And the GOP had better figure out right now that this is the Democrats' plan. They do not speak compromise, these Democrats. They do not give quarter. You have to think of them like ISIS. They hate us, and they will stop at nothing to defeat us. They will use delay. They will use unconstitutional rulings, like what's going on at the Ninth Circuit right now. If our Constitution is to survive, conservatives must utterly defeat the Democrat Party. These Democrats must be defeated. Compromise is not an option. Think like ISIS. And I'll point to something Rahm Emanuel explained. This was in the Chicago Tribune today. This was following, the 2016 political thrashing. Democrats are now relegated to being a regional party. They're located along the coast, and maybe like a little blue spot somewhere in Texas around Austin, where all the people have coffee and wear fancy boots. And they are in it for the long haul now. They are planning a political campaign of division and disagreement at every turn. Mayor Rahm Emanuel, he's the mayor of Chicago, has warned Democrats that they need to take a chill pill, quote unquote, and realize that they are not going to take back national power anytime soon. Instead, he said, Democrats should focus on the GOP. Quote, wherever there's a disagreement among Republicans, I'm for one of those disagreements. I'm all for it. The president's with Russia? Good. I'm with John McCain and Lindsey Graham. I'm for NATO. Why? It's a wedge. Wedges have to be schisms. Schisms have to be divides. That's Rahm Emanuel. That's what he's telling everyone. That's the marching order, is disagree and divide, become a wedge. This is why the GOP has to have a plan, and they should have had a plan in place as of November 9th to repeal Obamacare and slash taxes. They haven't done that. They've had 3 months to get ready, and they've had 2 years basically to get her and to plan. And now we've only got 2 years to get her done before the midterms. If Americans don't see progress financially on these taxes, if the border and Obamacare, those three big issues, there will be hell to pay in November. Because that's what the Democrats are counting on. They want the 2018 midterms. They want to get some power back, and so they are going to do everything they can to delay, divide. They are not going to agree on anything. Hell hath no fury like a Democrat scorned.
Well, that's when the Supreme Court nominee was announced. The first thing I saw going all over the place on social media and everything else was, oh, look, another white-haired white guy. Wait a minute. What did the Democrats do to Clarence Thomas?
Right, they called him
They dragged him through the mud.
It was a lynching. It was a judicial and political lynching of that man.
Right. So but they've always got to bring in the race card. It's
that's
always got to be the race card. The last time that
or the piggy tat card.
The last time a GOP president nominated a black man to the Supreme Court, the Democrats raked him through the mud.
Yeah, they lynched him. The high-tech lynching. That's exactly what it was, and it was sick. So just remember, Democrats have an ideology. Exactly. Their ideology is to concentrate government power and basically tyrannical power in elites at the top. They do not want individualism. They do not want a republic. They do a republic, a representative democracy. They hate the Constitution because it limits them, and they are going to do anything to divide, delay, anything they can to stop Trump's agenda. Okay, and this is most. It's best illustrated in what's going on right now at the Ninth Circuit. And a lot of us call it, the lawyers call it the Ninth Circus, like because it's crazy. Like 75% of the rulings at the Ninth Circuit are overturned. I mean, they're that wacky liberal tunes, okay? And it happens over and over again. And it holds the entire Western region hostage to one degree or another. This is the same Ninth Circuit that has redefined marriage. It's just, we keep having to battle this. And I am so grateful now that Trump is determined to start taking these things on. And this is why when he starts appointing judges through either starting with Gorsuch and then on down to the circuit court level, this is going to be absolutely key, and why we've got to have McConnell just using every procedural angle to make sure that we start filling these vacancies. I think there's well over 100. He may have an opportunity to really flood the circuit court with solid choices, and it is absolutely vital because the judiciary is seeking to usurp the Congress and the executive branch. It is truly what we're going to be seeing with this as this plays out. The TRO that is restraining Trump's executive order on the travel ban. It is truly a constitutional crisis in the making. But you know what? We're going to have to talk about that on the other side of the break, because it's time for us to have a little pause, go to the potty, get a snack, and then we come back. Okay.
And pay some bills.
Yeah. See you at the break.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Having a place to go after school will make you a better student. Having an outlet to express yourself will make you a better artist. Having something to do together will make you a better family. At the Y, we're helping build better friends, listeners, writers, swimmers, scientists, and musicians, one chance at a time. Give the gift of opportunity. Support the Y at ymca.net. The Y, for a better us.
Hey everybody, we're back, and before we get back into it, as we like to do, we'd like to give everybody our social media and all the rest of our information. And I'll start with You can find me at Right1Dan on Twitter, and
I think we just lost Dan. I can't hear him anymore.
Friday nights with Rick Robinson on Robinson and Wright. And where can everybody find you, Susan?
Well, you can find me at susanswift.net. I write regularly for politichicks.com, and I'm on social media at Real Susan Swift. So there's where you can find me. And by the way, sorry, feminists, while you were trying to get my taxes to pay for your contraception and abortion, I was raising a very beautiful family. So go have some fun with that, okay? Just saying.
And I think with that, we're back into the Ninth Circus.
The Ninth Circus is going on. It's really funny to watch, but it is incredibly important because what is happening right now, it's all started with the temporary restraining order on Trump's executive order that the left likes to smear and disingenuously call a Muslim ban. Dun, dun, dun. That's what they like to call it. It is no such thing. They're very vicious. They're even teaching it in the schools where my kids go to public school. The teachers are talking about it and saying that it's a Muslim ban. It is no such thing. I will tell you where it comes from. It's Title 8, Chapter 12 gives the president the constitutional authority to do what he's doing. Basically, the Constitution reserves as a plenary right to the Congress. This is a plenary right. It's the full Monty. Okay, it's everything. It is all the rights in the world are given to the Congress to decide who can come into our country, right? That is the Congress's job. The Congress can delegate it, and they have, okay? It has technically, grammar me to death, but the Congress has delegated this to the president, and it wasn't done for Mr. Trump. It was done years and years ago. It's Title 8, Chapter 12, and here's what it says. Whenever the president finds that the entry of any aliens into the U.S. would be detrimental to the interests of the United States, he may, by proclamation and for such period of time as he shall deem necessary, suspend any class of aliens or impose any restrictions.
You there?
Are you there? I am here. Can you hear me? We are having all kinds of technical issues today. Can you hear me, Dan? Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's a train wreck! We're having audio train wreck! Ah!
Hey guys, not to butt in, but I've done the best I can to clean up the audio and try and keep you going, so just run with it.
All right. Thank you. I hope you can hear us. We're just having all kinds of audio drama. It's train wreck diva drama going on here. But anyway, as I was saying, Trump, because he is the president, not because he's Donald Trump, but because he is the duly elected president of the United States who's been sworn in as the 45th president, he now has the power which Congress has bestowed upon him through Title 8, Chapter 12, to decide he can proclaim for any period of time that he wishes. He can suspend any class of aliens or impose any restrictions on any aliens coming to this country, and that includes Martians. Yes, aliens, they're aliens. That means they're not citizens. That means they're from other countries, and you guys just trigger and get over it, okay? So these are people who can come to the country only if we, the people, allow them to come. And Trump is the one that put a valid executive order saying, look, we've got this list of 7 countries that President Obama had identified as mostly run by terrorist organizations. We don't want terrorists coming over. So we're going to have a 90-day ban, a temporary ban, so that we can get our house in order and we can start vetting them. Well, the left freaked out because that is touching one of the 3 rails, immigration, right? How do Democrats make more Democrats? Because we know that they don't like sex that actually creates children. They don't like procreation. Liberals don't. They'll pass out condoms. They'll encourage you to get on the pill. And they'll give you free abortions with somebody else's money to make sure you don't have little citizens. So where do you get baby Democrats, right? Well, you have to convert them either through education. That would be through the the high schools and colleges, or through immigration. You have to import them from socialist countries, usually ignorant people who don't understand the difference between socialism and an independent free people, and you want to bring them in and make them citizens. So anything that touches the rail of immigration is something that can't be touched. It can't be done. So when Trump put this executive order out, of course, liberals in the state of Washington and Minnesota or wherever, they decided we've got to challenge this, and they went forum shopping. So they found the Ninth Circuit. They said we've got to find a state that'll file this in the Ninth Circuit. So they went to Washington. So that's how they did it. Now, so Judge Robarts found, and he had to stretch the law. The law is clear. The Congress gives the president this power, but the left, by doing this temporary restraining order, by finding out of the fabric of ideology that there's some way that we can place a ban, we can stop his travel ban, Trump's travel ban, the left is essentially taking over a branch of government via the judiciary. This rogue judge, rogue Robarts, that's what we should call him, he is usurping his authority to place a TRO on Trump's executive order travel ban. He is essentially telling the Congress and the president that they can or cannot enforce national security. Judiciary does not have that role under the Constitution. This is forum shopping. This is a political tactic. Now we're waiting for a three-judge panel to review it. And two of the three judges who they've just heard argument today, they're liberal hacks. And they will likely uphold Judge Robarts' rogue ruling, okay? The procedural path may lead this to the Supreme Court, and here's why we start getting into timing. Because right now, it's a 4-4 tie. 4 libs and 4 fairly conservatives, and Gorsuch, Schumer's got me saying Gorsuch now. That's going to kill me. So Gorsuch hasn't been appointed yet. He's still in the nomination phase, so it's now 4-4. If the review of the Ninth Circuit, and it will be appealed, it'll be appealed up to the Supreme Court. It takes 5 justices on the Supreme Court to grant a hearing. They can do one of two things. They can grant a hearing and actually hear it, or they can decline to hear it, in which case it falls back down to the last ruling, so it'd be upheld. If they vote to hear it, Kennedy, who's the waffler on that court, he swings with the wind. He may vote with the liberals and say that somehow, yes, judiciary branch has a role to play in telling the Congress and the president how they can or cannot enforce national security. That is a usurpation of the power, and it is a shredding of the Constitution, because the Constitution grants that power to the Congress alone. And that's the constitutional crisis we've got, is that the judiciary branch is at war. It's doing exactly what Rahm Emanuel and Schumer and all these guys want. They are delaying, they are denying, they are inserting themselves into what is very clearly an exercise of constitutional power by Trump via the express grant from Congress. Does any of that make sense, Dan? Are you following with me?
Well, yeah, but okay. And you call it the Trump ban. It's not. I call it the Obama ban, because that's what it is.
It's a travel ban. That's what it is.
But it's the Obama ban. It's the same thing Obama did in 2015, and they were all for it. Everybody was all for it. But now, because Trump wants
Obama
to do it,
Obama has used this ban 19 times. Obama has used this very ban, and you see, then it was constitutional because he was the first black president, right? Okay, and now that we have the first orange president, it's not constitutional because orange is not the new black. I don't know, but that's basically what's going on. All of a sudden, this grant, as you said, Dan, you're absolutely right. It was the Obama ban. He used it, 19 times, 16 times, whatever it is. He used it a lot, more than any of the other presidents in memory. And that was all constitutional. Nobody challenged that because, the ACLU is not going to challenge the first black president. No one on the left is going to challenge it. The left only challenges things when it is mounted by a conservative force or a Republican, because they are all about using judiciary is their weapon. That is their nuclear weapon. Is the judiciary. They have these appointed people in black robes who are unaccountable to the electorate, and they have stacked the courts against the people so that you can use equity and the intent of the law to go around the letter of the law. That's what they do. They do it time and time again, and it's very, very frustrating.
Well, yes, and what frustrates me about this is, and you and I touched on it on Monday when we talked, is that the whole time they were complaining about us having a temporary ban from certain countries. Those certain countries have a permanent ban against Americans traveling there.
Yeah, it's like Mexico, and I know, but you know what? The left doesn't care about that, because what they want is they want us to be one global community, and they think we should be like Europe and open borders, and they don't want to recognize any other bans anywhere, because they want to dilute the power of America to as a sovereign state. They don't want our sovereignty. We should all be looking to the UN. And that reminds me. In just the time, let me go find this. Ever since Judge Robarts stayed the executive order on Trump's travel ban, the Washington Examiner reported that the State Department has already, this is the State Department, this is Trump's State Department, the administration has rushed in 100 Syrians. Syria is one of the countries banned on that list, but the state departments, they've rushed in 100 Syrians and placed them in different states in the 2 days that they had since Robarts had put this TRO on. This is corrupting the sovereignty of the United States. Every one of those people in the State Department who've been appointed or put in there by Obama, Trump should broom, because he can't even count on his own wing of the executive branch to obey his orders. The State Department is sneaking in 100 Syrians, just boom, while they still can. It's outrageous. Now,
yeah, it's crazy.
So how do we stop it? How do we stop it? You got to wake up every morning and gird your loins and get ready for battle, because the Democrats are like ISIS. They never sleep, they never stop, and they are out to politically kill us and destroy us. That you got to remember that. So what is happening now is we are now already, Trump has nominated Judge Gorsuch, who is a fabulous judge, and he will be very conservative. He will be like Antonin Scalia. That makes the left shake in their boots, and they can't stand it, right? And they are doing battle. They're going to do everything they can to delay, ask additional questions. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that this man doesn't get on the Supreme Court in the next 6 weeks, so that hopefully that this TRO can become a permanent thing, and so that the ruling can come down from a tied Supreme Court that will give the judicial branch power over Congress. And then to undo that, the Congress has got to act. It's a big mess. So how do we counteract it? Well, we know about the nuclear rule, which is when we say, hey, we don't have to have 60 votes to confirm judges. That's what Harry Reid did. We call it the Reid rule over here, because Harry Reid suspended, this was in 2013, he deployed, it was called the nuclear option. It was a parliamentary move to implement by a majority vote in the Senate the understanding that the Senate rules could not be used to filibuster lower court judicial or executive branch nominees, right? So the question is now, with Gorsuch and with all of these high-level appointments like Jeff Sessions, how can we avoid the ongoing delay tactic and the battle that the Democrats want to put us through? And we saw a little bit of this today, because Senator Warren, that's Pocahontas. Yeah, remember she claimed that she was Indian, American Indian, because she had high cheekbones. Her Meemaw said she had high cheekbones, and that was the physiological sign that said that she was of Native American blood, and
right.
she
because Nordics
get a job on.
Nordics
don't have flat pancake faces. That's right. No, we're all flat pancake people, right? No, but what she wanted to do is she wanted to get a sweet little gig at Harvard, getting like $350,000 because she was a minority hire. And that was all exposed later. And then she said, well, I'm really, really sorry. But in any event, she's having real trouble right now because her approval ratings in her state are down. She's only got like 44% approval rating. And she needs a good news press story that'll feed red meat to her supporters. So last night, she went on the floor of the Senate and started railing against, she started, let's say it this way, she was banging the war drums against Jeff Sessions, trying to call him a racist. He violated Senate 19. Now, what is Senate Rule 19? Prevents any senator from talking more than twice on a single subject, and it also does another thing. It says you cannot impugn the reputation of a fellow senator. That would be Jeff Sessions. Well, she was doing that. The way that she was doing that was she was trying to hide behind the skirts of Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife, Coretta Scott King. So she was trying to read a letter. This is over 30 years ago. It's 1986, this letter. Basically, Coretta Scott King, who was at that time portraying Sessions as a racist to block his confirmation onto as a federal judgeship. And so Coretta Scott King was railing 30 years ago. The background of this is a little bit, it's more than we have time to go through, but basically the left has taken a joke about the KKK out of context in order to smear Sessions. And last night, Senator Warren was trying to read this letter during the confirmation hearings, and she was warned not to do so because she was impugning Senator Jeff Sessions and his intent, and they shut her down. So they basically said, beat 'em war drum, you have smoke signal only, you be quiet. So that's what they did.
I'd like to add, this is what we're dealing with, and this is from a guy that I used to respect, and it's something off of Twitter, off of social media, a guy named Nathan Hale, who has always called himself a constitutionalist, and this is an exact quote from a tweet that he put out today. This is what we're dealing with. This is the, I was never Trump, if you want to call it that, until Trump became the nominee. I mean, at that point, It's what you give up. This is an exact quote today. If you're black, voted for Trump, I hope Sessions personally puts the collar on your neck and the chains on your feet. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with this.
He's a sick jerk. And you know what? He's just a little guy on Twitter who thinks he's really important. He's not at the Congress. He's not dangerous at all. He's a sick jerk. He's not a constitutionalist, because we would never say that. We believe in our Constitution says that we have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and those are rights that come from God, and all men are created equal. And for him to say such a slanderous, ugly, mean, racist thing, it puts the lie to it. He's a nobody. He's a nobody on Twitter. He's got some thousands of followers. Big whoop. He's not. What's much more dangerous are these senators like Schumer and Senator Pocahontas. All of these people, they are trying to usurp the power of our Constitution and our rights. Now, here's how Rule 19 can be used. This was floated today. McConnell used Rule 19 to shut Senator Warren down. Okay, so the other part of Rule 19 is really interesting, and this is why it might be very useful when it comes to Gorsuch. Rule 19 prevents a senator from talking more than twice on a single subject, and there can't be more debate on the subject during a 48-hour period, okay? So what that means, it could cut off a filibuster for Gorsuch. McConnell could deem that the floor debate on Gorsuch is open and will take place over one legislative day. And that means he can hold, the day is as long as it goes until they gavel it closed. So the Senate won't be gavelled into recess, but it can extend for 48 hours or more. That's in McConnell's control. So debate would be going on. It would be happening, and they use Rule 19 to get around as an end run around the cloture vote, the 60-vote cloture rule, by saying, Rule 19, you can't talk more than twice on a single subject. The single subject for today, folks, is Gorsuch's nomination to the Supreme Court. And every Democrat gets up and talks twice, and that's it. Once all of them have talked, then what you can do, because of Rule 19, after that opportunity to speak twice, It's over. The legislative day is over, and no one remains who can legally take the floor to continue the debate. So the debate is over by rule, and then the vote can take place. And here's the important part: on a simple majority on the floor, 51 votes, not 60. Now, why does this matter? Because McConnell doesn't want to break the law. We don't want to break the filibuster like Reid did. We would like the filibuster to be in place, and so that going forward we can restore the traditions of the Senate, so that, yeah, it should take 60 votes to do major things, because that's what the Senate was for, is to calm things down, cool down heated passions, and deliberate and slow down legislation so we don't have too many laws being made. McConnell doesn't want to have to use the nuclear option. He will if he has to. And at the end of the day, Gorsuch is going to be confirmed. But it's the way that they're going to do it. Rule 19 was brought out and used today, kind of like a salvo over the bow, to shut up Senator Warren. And it's working, and it might be used, watch for it, during Gorsuch. They may invoke Rule 19 so that they can use a simple majority vote, 51 votes, instead of the 60 votes for cloture. And that would be very interesting, and we would not be guilty of using the nuclear Reid option. I find that fascinating, and I'm glad that McConnell is kind of testing to see what's going to happen. And one more interesting little thing in the news. I don't know. There's two. One sick thing and one kind of interesting thing. We have new carbonistas. Do you know what carbonistas are? Those are people who want to vote for a carbon tax. All right. And guess who they are? They're the GOP. It's the old guard GOP establishment. These are people like former Treasury Secretaries Hank Paulson and James Baker. They are now pressing President Donald Trump to tax carbon dioxide. That's air, folks. That's what you and I exhale, in exchange for abolishing a slew of environmental regulations. This is out of Bloomberg. So they unveiled their plan with a press conference in Washington and an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. And they said, we know we have an uphill slog to get Republicans interested in this. Yeah, you think, Baker said. But a conservative free market approach is a very Republican way of approaching the problem. What problem? Global warming is a hoax. This climate change is a total hoax. It was concocted by the liberals to figure out a way that they could literally tax air, that they could tax carbon dioxide. They've even deemed carbon dioxide to be a pollutant through the EPA right now. If you don't have carbon dioxide, you don't have plants making photosynthesis, and you don't have oxygen, because that's what converts carbon dioxide to oxygen. That's what plants are. They use sunshine, and they do that. Carbon dioxide is a naturally occurring gas on this planet, but it is such a total crazy hoax. And now we've got silly GOP carbonistas buying into it and saying that climate change poses an unacceptable risk to our climate, to our economy. Dun, dun, dun! Putting a price on carbon is by far the most efficient and effective way to restrict emissions. I think they're obviously inhaling something, and it ain't CO2. So that's
no,
that.
It's not. It's not. And I don't think.
And finally, I don't know if I can hear you. I'm sorry if we're having all kinds of technical difficulties today. But and the last thing I'll leave you with is just remember the ISIS people and how tolerant they are of feminine putty-tat hats and all the feminist rights. They're now recruiting. They have been jihadi Janes with metal teeth. This is over at the Daily Star. This is the UK. It's called Al-Kansa. I don't know how they say Al-Kanas, whatever it is. It's a female-only jihadi group who serve as a religious police, and they have metal teeth. They have this new metal jaw weapon that is used to torture other women to death. They bite people. It has poison on it. There was a 10-year-old girl. A 10-year-old girl was punished because she stepped over the threshold of her own house alone, and this Al-Kanas brigade, they came over, they demanded her mother choose who would receive the biting punishment, either the mother or the daughter. The mother thought it was just like regular teeth, like you get bitten, and so she said, well, okay, the daughter can have the punishment. And they whipped out these jihadi Janes, this monstrous new metal jaw that had poison teeth, and they bit this girl and tore her up, and she bled to death. Now, where is the Now gang? Where are the feminists? Where are you? Why aren't you defending these women who are being bitten to death and shredded to death on account of ISIS and under the law of Allah. So don't talk to me about feminist rights or your putty tat hats, because little girls, 10-year-old girls, are being bitten to death and by metal mouthed jihadis. I'm done listening to fake feminists. Okay, and on that happy note, I think we have to wrap it up.
Amen.
Thank you
I'll
for
just
listening.
say amen to that.
Thank you for listening. You can find me at Real Susan Swift on social media. You can also find me at SusanSwift.net. And on Wednesdays, we're here, Constitution and Culture. And Dan, tell them where they can find you, because you're like the Twitter mania man. You know all things Twitter. I don't know if we can hear Dan. Dan, can you hear? Well, Dan Wright, our resident libertarian and all-around good guy, he is on Twitter, and you can also join him
on Robinson and Wright, and we are out of time.
See you next week!